All right, I'm going to cover 6 designer fragrances that I've really been enjoying this winter so far. All right, this is one of my favorite designers I've been wearing quite a bit lately. Prada Parfum Intense. It's powdery, sweet, creamy, spicy, woody. A lot of nice iris. It's like a powdery iris. Patchouli's in it. Nice patchouli note to kind of darken it up. Roasted tonka bean. Real nice amber notes in it too that really twist the DNA a little bit from the original Prada DNA, and sandalwood. So they really darkened up the original Prada Parfum DNA, which is makes this more suitable for the winter. It's just beautifully blended, and that nice Prada iris. Longevity and foliage is good on this too. Smooth and clean. Great, like I said, the amber in this really sets it off. I really like the way the amber it is, and yeah, it's a even though it's powdery, it's still that Prada soapy clean iris too. So yeah, there's a little bit of like a leathery type of feel to this too. So yeah, just a darker winter version of it, and performance is great on this, and it's just this is great for like date nights and romantic encounters, or just chilling around the house in the evening. Love this one. Up next is 1 Million Elixir. I love the whole 1 Million line. I even like these kind of tacky bottles. I think they're pretty cool. So this one's a little bit too like floral and feminine for a lot of men possibly, but for me it's not even close. So I really love this one. It's a sweet, fruity, definitely synthetic like the whole 1 Million line. It's spicy. It's got some florals. There's some apple and some florals, you know, with a Turkish rose right out of the gate. And then you start getting some osmanthus and tonka beans, some vanilla, some cedar wood, patchouli as it dries down. Yeah, it's just a creamy vanilla too in the dry down. And just a subtle floral notes or whatever, even though it's got rose and some other florals in it, doesn't just jump out at you. It's a jammy, fruity, kind of like a sweet, masculine vanilla rose type fragrance. Sort of smells like a Stronger With You Intensely with a little bit more fruit and flowery tones added to it. If you do a side-by-side, you can kind of see that. But yeah, I love this one. I love the whole 1 Million line. This is actually one of my favorites to wear, especially in the winter. And yeah, it's more maybe of a youthful type fragrance. But I don't know. I don't really go by youthful and stuff when I'm wearing fragrances. If I like it, I like it. And I like this one. All right, this is another one I really been enjoying lately is this Polo Oud, a newer release from the Polo line. It's kind of like a designer Western take on the typical like a rose oud combination, you know, the Middle Eastern fragrances do. And I love, you know, the Middle Eastern versions of those. I mean, this is like if you're not into those so much, this is a designer, easy to get into approach. I think this is a great release by Polo here. I don't think it's got a lot of praise or many people are talking about it, but I love it. But I like, you know, rose oud combination fragrances. And this is definitely way more approachable than many of the other ones I got. The oud here is way toned down. It's not animalistic or stinky at all. It's just you know, a smooth designer approach to oud. It's woody, spicy, sweet, resinous. It's kind of in that oriental category. The pink pepper and clary sage open up, so it's kind of fresh out of the opening. Then you get some of the cinnamon, orange blossom, then the rose comes out. Then as it dries down, like it says oud as a note, but it's more like a woody oud. You know, it's more woodsy. There's some frankincense, resin, patchouli, and like a darker vetiver as it dries down. And I love it. It's just a little bit better than the Versace Oud Noir. I like it so much, I just sold my Versace Oud Noir because they were kind of similar, and I prefer this over it. So yeah, this thing, when you look it up on Fragrantica and Parfumo, I don't know, I don't think it's getting hyped up enough. So it should be really hyped up more for people that are wanting like a you know, an easy, approachable rose oud combination. I think they just nailed it on this one. And I'm a big fan of Polo fragrances in general, but this is one of my favorites. And not many people talk about this one, but I love it. All right, I like Dior Sauvage, but I don't have any of their fragrances. I just smelled that smell too many times, maybe a little burnout on it. But I do have this one, and I still enjoy this one. Dior Sauvage Elixir. I think this one might have started the whole elixir craze when that kicked off. I'm pretty sure this is the one that started it all. And it was a good craze to start because I pretty much like elixirs of any of the fragrances they do. So this thing is just nuclear. And Assad is pretty close to this. But if you wear this next to Assad, you can see some quality differences or whatever. But if you got Assad and you're happy with that, there's probably no reason to get this because it's not hugely different. There are differences, but for the price point, Assad does a good job. But I like having the real thing here because there are enough differences for me, and I'm sort of a collector, and I do these YouTube videos. But yeah, it's spicy, woody, sweet, fresh, synthetic. A great way to like darken up the the DNA. A lot of licorice in this, and I don't normally not a fan of like a licorice, but I do like it in this fragrance the way they did it. And there's just some nutmeg, some other spices in it. The lavender is really nice in this. Some nice deep like Haitian vetiver, patchouli, and woods as it dries down. And they just took the original Sauvage DNA and just kind of added some darker and warmer nuances to it. And yeah, the performance on this is great. And yeah, I like it a lot. This is perfect for winter. And a couple sprays is really all you need. And it just protects for hours. And luckily, I don't go nose blend on this. So I keep picking it up. So yeah, this is a great, great fragrance. All right, once you get near like Thanksgiving and into Christmas, like it's official. It's a Spicebomb season. These Spicebomb fragrances just say holidays to me, and I like the whole line. You know, some of them aren't as like holiday centric. They're more like a spring or a fall type of fragrance on some of the other lines, like Night Vision, some of those. But the original and Extreme, and a lot of them. Extreme, if you're just going to get one nice Spicebomb, it'd probably be Extreme would be what I'd recommend. But I like having a bunch of them, and I like having the original still. I think this came out in 2012, so that was a long time ago. And I even like these tacky grenade bottles. I think they're kind of cool. So they're spicy, sweet. It's an Oriental type fragrance, woody, gourmand. I just love the spices they use in this, and the tobacco dry down is a pretty good part of it for me. And it's been reformulated. I think years ago this thing was just nuclear, and it's got decent performance now, but it's definitely not nuclear anymore. It's spicy, sweet, gourmand, a little bit of a like citric freshness when the opening, and then a nice, good blend of like cinnamon, pink pepper, saffron with tobacco and leather in it too. This thing just works. So if you're getting into Spicebomb season, you might want to check some of these out. This one and the Extreme in particular. All right, last up is Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privée. Love this in the winter. It's sweet, spicy, powdery, woody, creamy. It's got really nice whiskey note on it. There's a chestnut in it that's really nice added into it. And the iris in this is just fantastic. It's a woody, boozy, sweet fragrance. And the chestnut note, like I said, complements the whiskey note really nice. And I just love the way this thing wears. I'm liking it even more. Last winter, I really liked this, but as soon as I sprayed it on this winter, I'm just nuts over this. Sweet, boozy, and there's a nice chocolate note too that blended with the iris that really makes it stand out and pop. And kind of similar to Dior Homme Parfum, but I have that too. And if you wear them side by side, there's plenty of differences. And yeah, it's just really potent and long lasting too for this kind of scent profile. I think I go nose blind to this scent profile generally, but this one here, it kind of hangs around a little bit longer for me. And this is one definitely if you spray behind the neck and back here and don't put it under the chest or right under you. If it's any kind of fragrance you go nose blind to, that's going to help because it's not hitting you right in the nostrils. So if I wear this one that way, I get a lot better longevity, at least as far as I can pick it up. I know everybody else can smell it, but when I spray that way, I actually smell this one a lot more. And yeah, so this is great in the fall or the winter, but especially on like a cold winter night. All right, Juan over at Fat Boy Fragrances keeps calling me the oldest guy in FragCom, so I'm going to run with it. Thanks for hanging out with the oldest guy in FragCom. And if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and comment. That helps the algorithm. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch.